Hey, good evening and welcome to the public information session for the first phase of the Nelson Street Reconstruction Project. Participating in tonight's information session from the City of Pembroke are myself, Mario McLaughlin, Supervisor of Capital Works and the project manager for this project, and Brian Lewis, Manager of Operations. From JP2G Consultants, the design engineers for this project, we have Stephen Webster and Caitlin Nagora. At the end of this presentation, we will answer any questions related to this phase of the project that may arise during the presentation. To get your questions through to us, please type them in the comments section below this video, and they will be reviewed and answered at the end of this presentation. Property-specific questions will be addressed with the individual property owners in the weeks following this presentation. I will now turn the presentation over to Caitlin of JP2G Consultants.
Right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the public information session for Nelson Street Reconstruction Project Phase 1. All right, so the purpose of the information session is to introduce the scope of the project and to provide residents and businesses with the opportunities to discuss and provide comments to us. So the process, as Marielle had said, will include a presentation by myself, followed by a question and answer period. We ask again that if you have any questions to place it in the comment section of this channel. All right, so our agenda for the evening is going to be going through the project background, an overview of the whole project, as well as some more specific phase 1, and to discuss some design key design elements, some construction constraints, the financial implications of this project, and next steps for going forward, followed by at the very end, obviously, the question and answer period. So Nelson Street is a major east-west route commonly used by locals to avoid the traffic congestion on Pembroke Street. This route also provides access to the commercial properties that front Nelson Street. Currently, there's very limited pedestrian access along Nelson Street, and we're hoping to rectify that with our design. So the existing asphalt along the street is in pretty poor condition with many cracks and potholes. There have been a lot of spot repairs and resurfacing over the years. The existing lane width varies with the majority approximately 3.5 meters. The existing right-of-way, which is the width of the property that the city owns, ranges from 11 meters to 20 meters, with the majority below the standard right-of-way width of 20 meters. So the existing water main infrastructure has reached its end of life on this section on Nelson Street. It's subject to frequent breaks, which has caused an inconvenience to local residents and commercial properties. So there's also a need for additional capacity in the primary sanitary sewer in this section of the city. The storm drainage is currently conveyed by means of open ditches and minimal storm sewer systems. Some areas experience water ponding on the road due to poor drainage. So the overall project's limits include Nelson Street and extend from McKay Street all the way through Howard Street to Pembroke Street East. This is approximately 1.65 kilometers in length and is currently anticipated to be completed in 5 phases. So phase 1 is what we're going to focus on here tonight, and it includes Maple Avenue to Cecilia Street. This portion of the project is approximately 350 meters in length. So the map here shows the extent of the overall project limits. As you can see, phase 3 here is shown in red. The other phases are identified in yellow. So currently it is anticipated the phasing to proceed this phase 1, then phase 2, phase 3, followed by phase 4, and then finally phase 5. Phase 1 design is in the final stages of completion. So here's a sample of the phase 1 construction drawings that our company has developed. The top drawings show the plan view, and the bottom section shows the profile view, which is the underground infrastructure and the depths where the infrastructure is to be installed. Right. So following on to key design elements. So these are some typical cross sections of the road that we have included in our design. As you can see, the road width is 3.5 meters. This is the City of Pembroke standard for roads of for this class of road. And this will be the lane width throughout Nelson Street. We have curb and gutters. This will be used to convey the stormwater to the new storm sewer network. There are sections that have asphalt boulevards where space permits for snow storage. And we have concrete sidewalks along the south side of the street. Sidewalk, there are some areas where the sidewalk is adjacent to the curbs, and this is where there's insufficient right-of-way width or where there's conflicts with the existing hydro poles. The pavement structure of the road is shown here. It consists of 2 layers of asphalt, followed by a layer of granular A and finally a layer of granular B. There will also be subdrains included in the just below the granular material to aid in draining the granular material. So sidewalks have been included along the south side of the street. The Nelson Street sidewalk will also connect to existing sidewalks at the side streets. Tactile walking surface indicators, these here, will be installed at all pedestrian crossings for compliance with the Accessibility for Ontario's with Disabilities Act. The existing water main ranges from 150 millimeters to 200 millimeters in diameter. So a new 300 millimeter diameter water main will replace the existing one, with the increase in size providing additional capacity. All the existing water services to residential and commercial properties will be replaced to the property line. New fire hydrants will replace the existing hydrants within the project limits, meeting current standards. The existing 900 millimeter diameter sanitary sewer is to remain, with a new 750 millimeter sewer constructed next to the existing. This will provide additional capacity in the system. The existing sewer is the primary line that directs flow sewage to the west end of the city, including the downtown core, to the sewage treatment plant. This project will allow for continuing maintenance activities at the McKay pumping station without disrupting services to residential and commercial properties. So some construction constraints that we have is that storm drainage improvements, got a little ahead of myself. The new curb and gutter along the street will convey stormwater to the new stormwater system, sewer system, which will result in the elimination of the open ditches. This new stormwater system will then transport stormwater to several outfalls along Nelson Street. So new storm services will also be provided to existing residential and commercial properties where it's feasible. All right, construction constraints. So prior to starting construction operations, the contractor will be required to provide a traffic management plan, noting all necessary detours, which will be then communicated to the general public by way of a media outlet or multiple media outlets. It is anticipated the road will be closed during the installation of the underground infrastructure, and this is due to the depth of the excavation required and the limited right-of-way limits or width. Immediate local traffic will be accommodated. The contractor will be responsible to provide adequate signage for businesses located within the construction zone. So the financial implications of this project. The City of Pembroke has budgeted $1.9 million to complete phase 1 of this project. So next steps. The city and JP2G staff will be reviewing the feedback received during this information session and will consider amending the design. The project is scheduled to be tendered in March with an anticipated award in April. The construction is expected to commence in late spring. Subsequent phases of the Nelson Street reconstruction project will be scheduled for future years, subject to budgetary constraints. So tonight, we will only be answering questions related to the roadway and not individual property questions. If you do have any questions relating to your property or business, please send an email to the address noted here, and JP2G staff or city staff will contact you directly. So we invite you to please type in your question now in the comment section, so one of our members can read it out loud and answer your question. Thank you.
So Caitlin, we currently have no questions have been posed yet underneath the live feed.
Okay, I did have one question earlier today asking about the storm drainage at Nelson Street and Maple Street. My answer is there will be no catch basins there, but the introduction of the curb and gutter will convey the stormwater down to the catch basins that are in the design. I do see one question, Marielle.
Yes, I do see it as well. Do you want to answer to that one?
Sure. So the question is, will Peter Street be made a two-way street during phase one? Do you want me to answer that?
I'm not sure. I know Brian has been having internet issues, or if Steve wants to take that one, but it'll be part of the contractor's traffic management plan as part of the submittal that you alluded to earlier. Do you want to build on that?
Yeah, if there's no plans to permanently change Peter Street into a two-way street, for traffic management, it will be part of the contractor's responsibility to come up with a traffic management plan to satisfy all the requirements, including allowing local residents to access, or I guess local immediate traffic to access their homes and stuff. So the contractor may come up with or ask for the Peter Street to become a two-way street for the duration of the contract.
Okay, Caitlin, I don't see any more questions coming in. And if anybody has any questions following this or on the replay of this presentation through the YouTube channel, they can email any questions to caitlin.n@jp2g.com. And JP2G or city staff will contact you directly for any other questions on the replays of this video. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening. And this presentation will be posted on the city's YouTube channel for future viewing